Hi everybody and welcome back to the GLOSSA channel. Something amazing's happened, guys. We've managed to find Mr. Hilda and he's agreed to do an interview. Mr. Hilda, welcome to the show. Say good day to our viewers. You've been a hard man to track down. I guess that's because you're incorporated. So what we want to ask you, Mr. Hilda, is who actually are you? Because I seem to be getting a lot of paperwork with your name on it from the police and the magistrates. Right, you don't exist. Okay, so what does that mean for you? You're incorporated. So as far as I know, the word incorporated means that you actually are missing a body. That's true, you don't have a body, so that must make a number of things difficult for you to do, being imaginary as you are. So would you like a drink? Would you like to pick this drink up for me? Yeah, feel free. Yeah, no, that's yours. You can't. Why is that? Oh, because you're not real. Okay. So you can't drink, you can't speak, is that correct? Right, so if I was hearing you speak, would that make me delusional? It would. Yes, and a delusion in law is a fact that doesn't exist, much like the fact of yourself. Right, and that is indicated by the fact that you are sitting here with nobody? Right, thank you. And oh yeah, and you can't do anything else either. So look, I want to put a bit of an allegation to you, Mr. Hilda. You've been committed of some, accused by the New South Wales Police of some minor crimes. Do you want to elaborate on that? Well, that does make sense that you couldn't possibly be guilty because you had no body and you couldn't actually undertake any deeds to commit these crimes. Yeah, very good point. Thank you for that. I missed that completely. Obviously, Magistrate Michael North Holmes also missed that. So, how were you created? On a birth certificate. Wow, that's amazing. Now, I believe you and I share a special day. I was born on the 30th of April in 1972, and I believe you're birthed on that day. What a coincidence, hey? Isn't that amazing, viewers? So, the 30th of April is my born date, and it's your birth date. There's a difference in those words there, isn't there? Can you explain what a birth and a born is for our viewers? Well, that's very interesting, yes. A birth date is the date that the deed was created, and the deed is the paperwork that creates you. And you can't possibly be born because you never had a body. Is that correct? Yes. Whereas I had my born date on there, and the deed created for me was my Christian name, which didn't happen until about 6 weeks later on the 19th of June, did it? Yes, yes, that's right. So I am the 16th of June as my birthday, and your birthday is the 30th of April. So we don't actually share a birthday. My born day is shared with you. How do we identify you without a body? Who do we see? Who are we looking at right here, right now, Mr. Hilda? Oh, we write down a cartoon, do we? A fictional cartoon. And you're Mr. Hilda, so that, how would we write that on a piece of paper? So a capital H, capital I, capital L, capital D, capital E, capital R. Is that what you're saying? So that's not how we write a name for me. If my name was the same as your name, it would be written with an initial capital as a proper noun in a proper name as indicated by the Styles Manuals, page 121 of the New South Wales, the Commonwealth Style Manual 6th edition. Yeah, that's right, and page 291, you are correct, does point out that you are identified with a corporate identifier, which is an emblem. As you say, a piece of artwork. Yes, yes, it's not a... You couldn't look in a dictionary and find your name anywhere, could we? No. And who created you, your deed, your artwork? So the Births, Deaths and Marriages of New South Wales, as a corporation themselves, created you. Right, so somebody wrote down on a piece of paper on the 30th of April, well, you actually started out, I'll put it to you, that you started out as medical records. As an infant, yes you were, that's correct. So as an infant with your medical records, the doctor wrote Hilda at the top, didn't he, in all capitals. And then that Hilda was then transferred and created and registered on the, with the Births, Deaths and Marriages Registrar. And they also epitheted my name along with your name, didn't they? They joined us together, me and your not body there. Yep. So I carried you around as your executor, I guess. So I just want to explain to the people how this works, that I am actually trustee for you, because they created this thing without actually telling me they did any of this, of course. I was naive enough not to be able to work out that there was a difference between a letter form emblem that identifies you and a proper noun that identifies me. So to have this drink here, you would need me to pick it up for you. So I'll be your trustee and I will execute that act. There we go. And now this is what the court's actually considering, isn't it? That I am responsible for you. So they're charging you with picking up the drink, yet I'm performing the act for you. So you trust me to perform the act for you. So that, yes, that's correct. Excellent. So this birth certificate that has my name on it and your name on it, and it has the two different dates, the date that my name was registered and the date your name was registered. Who owns that document? So birth, deaths and marriages created it, but it's actually owned by the US Federal Reserve. Could you explain that a bit further for me? Right, so the US Federal Reserve actually hold the document. And I think you are correct. I don't think I can ever actually get the original document, can I, to be the holder of that, to own that document. I simply get a certified copy of that to prove that I agreed to be the guy acting for you because you don't exist. Yep. Yes, that does sound right. So that's a good example. Yes, the colour orange. We have something orange. We use that's a noun, isn't it? And that will be described in all lowercase, except at the start of the sentence. But what if we're talking about orange, the city out west of Sydney there? Capital O, rest in lowercase, yep. And what if we had a corporation called Orange? And that would be a presumption because we can't actually find the corporate name, we're just applying English standards to a logo. But that would be in all uppercase. Yep, that makes a lot of sense, thank you. Now, I just want some clarification in law that you actually don't exist and that you are a foreign corporation. I'm going to put that to you. I know it's a difficult question, but maybe you could answer that. Yes, I'm aware of the Public Governance Performance and Accountability Act 2003. Section 11A. Well, as far as I know, Section 11A indicates that there's Commonwealth, non-corporate Commonwealth entities. Yes, so I would be a non-corporate entity because I do in fact possess a body. Yes, that very astute observation there, that I possess a body. And select Section 11B, and that describes a non-Commonwealth corporate entity. Well, that's interesting. Is that you that exists without the body? Because it does have corporate in there. Yes, so you're a corporate Commonwealth entity, so you're owned by the Commonwealth, but I've just put below that, I have read that act, and that section says below that that a corporate Commonwealth entity, such as yourself, Mr. Hilda, is not actually part of the Commonwealth. Australia's part of the Commonwealth. We've got it in our Constitution, Act 1900 UK. So, what are you? Oh, you're foreign. Okay, that's interesting. You're a foreigner. And where do you reside when you're a foreigner? The old North America. Registered with the US Federal Reserve, New South Wales Treasury, okay, and that's registered as a corporation as well, so that's your parent corporation. And how's that registered? Yes, I am familiar with that. I believe it's 71545 is the registration number for that, yes. So that's a foreign entity. So let's ask you, I'm being taken into the court with paperwork with your name on it, sir. So how does a foreign US corporation without a body such as yourself make me liable when I'm not holding your documents? I'm not. Wow, that's interesting. Well, Magistrate Michael North Holmes seems to think I am. He's actually served me 5 times with the paperwork. Every time just before court. I mean, even yesterday, just before I received a death threat, I received an email from Patrick Cosgrove, a constable of New South Wales Police Corporation. And he did... Oh, so I have to hold the documents before they can get me into court, and that's why they keep serving me? So I keep sending them back, and then that null and voids the case, right? And then so they've got to try and get me to contract again, so they keep offering me the paperwork, and if I keep refusing, we can't go ahead. Yes, well, in that case, Michael North Holmes is being belligerent because he does keep pushing the paperwork on me. And I keep telling him, I'm not you because I have a body and you're incorporeal. You don't. Yes, it's interesting that he can't tell the difference, isn't it? Yeah, one would wonder about his delusions. Oh look, I wouldn't go that far, and it's probably not appropriate to we'll probably have to bleep that out, that he's a belligerent, delusional fat fuck in a dress, but because it isn't actually a dress, it's actually an academic robe. Yeah, I know it looks like one, doesn't it? Yeah. So our relationship between you and me, I've been carrying you around in my wallet for a long time before I realised you were there, didn't I? And it's very hard to realise you're there when you don't have a body, that you're in fact a cartoon on a piece of paper. And I do that as tacit consent. The government considers that, well, I'm walking around with you in my wallet. I must be you. But look, I just want to show you something here, Mr. Hilder, if I could, and I just would really like your opinion, is that I have now, and I'll just show our viewers at home, created this document. This is my identification, stamped by Commonwealth Notary. And this just says I'm Rowan Lorien, and my date of birth is 19th of June, and my trustee is the Treasury of New South Wales. So I put it to you, Mr. Hilder, that I'm not you. But the only man holding you at the moment is Patrick Cosgrove and Jason Firth. Yes, yeah, Jason, yeah, his wife does outrank him. But they do that a lot in Tenterfield. They always put husband and wife teams there to hide them away. In fact, a husband and wife team shot someone a while back and killed him. And then the husband said on tape that in his evidence that he didn't shoot the guy because his wife was there, but I'd already made a complaint that he threatened to arrest me after I made a complaint about his wife. So, yeah, well, that's what the New South Wales Police do. They just investigate themselves. So I put it to you, Mr. Hilder, that if I'm sitting here talking to you, I could be considered delusional. I'm actually going to go a step further and put you don't exist at all. That Michael North Holmes, Patrick Cosgrove, in fact, most of the police force are in a shared delusion that you exist. And this is what cooperation is about, really, isn't it? That they are making this fictional entity so... oh, you have a friend. Who's that? Homer Simpson off The Simpsons. Well, that's one of my favourite shows. Yeah, and look, I'll put it to you that he's incorporeal as well. Yes, he doesn't have a body. How does he speak? That's right, a man comes in and talks for him, doesn't he? And how does he appear on paper? Well, they have animators. They come in and draw him. Yeah, it's funny. And look, just something interesting on that. When Homer goes to work at the studio there to work for his creator, Matt Groening, he gets hurt a lot. There's a lot of things that fall on his head and his pants catch fire and tractors flip over on him. I'm just wondering, how does Matt Groening get away with a liability? I mean, surely Homer is due a lot of compensation for those obvious injuries that he's receiving in the line of work. He can't sue because he's fictitious. There's no jurisdiction between it. So that's, just let me clarify that. There's no jurisdiction between a fiction and the real man, Matt. That Homer can't sue Matt. Right, because similar was similar. So a fictitious corporate entity or a cartoon cannot sue a real man. Is that what you're saying? Well, look, that makes a lot of sense. I'll put it to you, though. In The Simpsons, there was a case where Bart Simpson got hit by another one of the incorporated characters, which was Mr. Burns, who owns power plant. They successfully got that into court. They didn't win the case, but there was definitely enough evidence there to go and proceed to a trial. And I just put it to you that Homer obviously has the ability to sue in that case. A fiction can sue a fiction. So a fiction Homer Simpson can sue a fiction Mr. Burns. But a fiction Homer Simpson can't sue a real man. Okay, so that's why they need me to hold you, so that their fiction, which is the US Federal Reserve Corporation 71545 or the Commonwealth 1805157, can sue you, and I am liable for that as the trustee. Okay, I got it, because I'm the guy that can pick up this. They put a debt on you. I can, you know. Here we go. Let's pay my debt here, guys. That's how we go. So this is how it works, and then they go great, and then they get one of their trustees to come along for their corporation and take that money. That's how it works. But you're having some problems holding the money there. Look, really, how do I make this payment? I can only make this payment as a real man to another real man. It's all fiction in our heads. Yep, okay, I've got it. All right, so just to recap, the Government Performance and Accountabilities Act says that you're a foreign, fictional, corporate, I'm going to be honest here, bodiless entity that exists only in our imagination. So with the US Federal Reserve, I have to imagine you here. So if I don't want to imagine you here, what happens then? Yes, we do have laws against slavery in Australia. 270.1 of the Criminal Code Act 1995, I believe, and it's actually a very serious penalty of 25 years. They're guilty of that. Wow, and they, with the name The actual artwork, Hilder, which we are sounding out as we would in English as Hilda. Who owns copyright on that? Okay, so if the birth, deaths, and marriages registrar created that, that's their copyright, so I can't use it. And if I do use it, I'm either breaching copyright or I'm going to agree to the terms and conditions as the contractor, the trustee for that matter. And that would be the same as Matt Groening. Look, I think The Simpsons is a great show, and I was actually going to draw up some Homer Simpson animations myself and put them out there on YouTube, just as a, see if I can make a little bit of money out of the advertising. I'll get sued for copyright. Right, so I cannot use something that I haven't created the artwork for, unless I have a contract with Matt Groening. And Matt Groening can't force me into a contract under the 13th Amendment of the US Federal Reserve. That would be slavery. That's correct. And also Article 7 of the Rome Statute, that would be slavery, and 270.1 of the Criminal Code Act, that would be slavery as well. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Yes, that there's quite a number of anti-slavery laws in Australia, and yet here we are talking to a fictitious entity that doesn't exist in a court of law. We have a magistrate, Michael North Holmes, obviously believes that you are something more real than I do, because I think you don't exist. I think I'm sitting here talking to an empty chair. Well, isn't that interesting? Yes, I am actually doing that. And this is what's happening in court, isn't it? I walk into court, they're talking to you, and I'm just there to pick up the pieces. Yeah, and you agree to everything, don't you? You've actually, you pleaded not guilty. I mean, Magistrate Michael North Holmes must have heard you plead not guilty, because he said, I'm changing the plea to not guilty because I swore that I said Demura and that I'm not you, that I'm Rowan Lorien, a man with a body, and that you are Mr. Hilda. Another thing I'd like to go through, the Mr. Well, it's just a title, isn't it? It's not a name, it's a title. So, page 5116, yeah, I have read that. Yes, it does indicate that Mr. is a lowest rank in the military, and to be honest, that's the only definition I could find as well. So this is an arbitral military tribunal, is it? So it's basically a court-martial of an entity of yourself that doesn't exist, and you're a soldier. Oh yeah, you do enjoy the military stuff. Well, you look like a man who would. Okay, so very interesting stuff here, the fact that, you can't even be a man. I'll put it to you that a person is a corporation. Now everyone keeps, I see in this research, that a person, everyone's pretty pissed off that a corporation has the same rights as a person. I think what it is, it's actually the other way around, is that a man was given the liabilities of a person, which is a corporation. And that was a trick. A corporation was always a person. But if they wanted to put in it that a man has the liability of something that doesn't exist, which is you there, Mr. Hilda, that people would probably work it out a lot quicker than what we have. Yes, well, if they were to say that you're here as a cartoon, yes, the court would look a bit silly. And I put it to you that that's why the court and the police are acting so violently, as Rom and I are whistleblowers, and we've been attacked, drugged, threatened regularly for introducing the fact that, that quite obviously you don't exist, Mr. Hilda. Yes, well, maybe we should seek asylum in Russia. That's a very good point, thanks. So anyway, I'd like to just say thank you for coming along. It's been absolutely fantastic not talking to you, and we hope to not see you ever again. I am going to further call you as a witness in this case if I have to turn up. I'll probably present this video that I've paid the fine, there we go, I've tried to do it and you don't exist. I've proven I have ID that doesn't indicate that I'm a trustee for a foreign corporate non-existent entity, that I am in fact a member of the Commonwealth. And just another point on that, as a Commonwealth non-corporate entity, what does that mean for me? I'm in control of all the corporations in Australia now. Wow, that's interesting. So yes, well, that's why they don't want me to move from being your trustee to being a corporeal body back again. They want me to maintain this imaginary fiction that you are, in order so we can have this shared delusion, and they can maintain and they can keep taking this military script, what they pass off as money, to them. Yes, he who benefits is generally the one who commits the crime, and obviously today you're the one benefiting because you've got my $200 there. Yeah, that's right. Well, look, thanks for coming on the show. I'm sure our viewers out there have really appreciated this video and this time. And hopefully, once we can find out who sent that death threat, you and me will be able to attend the Tenterfield Courthouse, and we'll be have a good old chat with Magistrate Michael North Holmes. I know you don't like him, but you know, he's a magistrate, and delusional or not, we've got to go through this process, and we'll probably, well, you're free to come and go as you like, but I'm probably going to do some jail time over this, just simply for the fact that I pointed out that Michael North Holmes and the New South Wales Police are criminals and acting on delusional, non-existent entities. So thanks for coming along. Great to meet you. Finally, it's been hard to track you down. So guys, thanks for watching. I can't believe it actually had to come to this, but here we are. I'm okay, and I'll be back in Sydney very shortly. Talk to you soon.